So last month, I attended a business retreat. And over the course of those 4 days, I had several experiences that really impacted me in ways that I did not expect. And what I want to talk to you about today is what I would call the overall theme of my time at the retreat. And I think this is going to be helpful for those of you who are finding yourselves in an in between space right now. Maybe you've had some endings and you're not quite seeing the beginnings yet. And so you might have some doubt, trying to rise up. And maybe you're wondering if you should have made a different decision. You're thinking you could go back in time and change what you did or change what you were thinking. You might even be thinking just to go back to what you had released because the familiarity of that thing seems easier than this space that you're in right now. Here's the thing, I get it, and I want to encourage you to hold this one word in your heart, your mind, your soul as you navigate this in between space. And that word is allow. Let's talk about it. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Confident Women Glow. I'm Mo James, and this is the podcast where we dive into self-discovery, self-trust, and self-expression to help you create a life that's true to who you really are. I believe that confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a practice. It's about showing up boldly even when life feels messy and owning your journey every step of the way. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into this episode. Can we take a moment to talk about reflection and growth? I know this journey of self discovery, self trust, and self expression isn't always easy, but having the right tools makes all the difference. And that's why I created the Inner Strength Journal. This isn't just another journal, it's a space for you to connect with your thoughts, honor your emotions, and design your masterpiece life one page at a time. Each prompt in this journal is carefully crafted to help you dig deeper into what matters most to you, to build your confidence, and to take aligned action. So, if you're ready to carve out intentional time for yourself and start designing a life that feels true to who you are, grab your copy of the Inner Strength Journal today. Head over to innerstrengthjournal.com to order yours now. Your journey deserves this space. So, like I said, I had the wonderful opportunity to attend a business retreat last month, and this was actually my first proper retreat. And it included some business, some team building, some wellness, and some fun. It was a nice mix of everything that my entrepreneurial self needed to start the year off. And the retreat was in my hometown, the place where I was born and raised and ran the streets and ultimately left to enlist in the military. So needless to say, they already felt a little bit different as I was going into the retreat. I gave myself a little bit of time before the retreat started to hang out with some family. But once I checked myself in for the retreat, I was like ghost to the homies. I was totally in retreat mode. And during our first group session, we did a wellness exercise that a lot of people in the room were experiencing for the first time. And the facilitator she offered one piece of advice. She said to be open to what comes up during the experience, to allow whatever happens to happen. And so I decided that I would approach my time at the retreat as a whole with that mindset. Whatever happens, I'm just going to go with it. It wasn't until I flipped through my journal entries over the past few months that I realized I have been moving with this allow energy for a while. And I had a choice once I became aware of it. I had a choice to be more intentional with this allow going forward. And so one of the ways that I did that was to choose to make this the topic for the first episode of season 4 of this podcast. The word allow means to give the necessary time or opportunity for. But what does that mean for us? Like, what does that look like in the lives of women who are unlearning smallness and other expired patterns and behaviors? Women who are discovering and reinventing themselves in ways that align with courage and confidence. Like, what does allow mean for us? For me, when I think about it, as a confident woman, to move in the spirit of allow means to know within yourself that you have your own back, regardless of what happens. You will be at peace disappointing other people if it means not disappointing yourself. You will create a vision for your life that supports your becoming, and you'll stop subscribing to other people's expectations. You will fall in love with you, and you will redefine how you are treated. When you allow, you create space for your confidence to grow because you become available for the experiences where you will get to discover yourself in new ways. So for me, being in my allow energy means that I'm not trying to predict and control the future because I trust myself. I'm not trying to control other people's responses to my actions because I trust myself. I'm not trying to manage everything and everyone around me because I trust myself. Side note, being in the allow energy lets you rest, friend. Trusting yourself gives you the freedom to allow life to happen. And you can go into the different experiences that life is going to bring knowing that you will be okay on the other side. I realized that I am moving with clarity and ease and in the spirit of intentional growth. I actually wrote this in my journal back in September 2020. And I recognize that right now I am in a newness of allowing, a new version, a new level, a new depth of allowing. Because there are levels to this confidence growth journey. And there's also levels to the ease and release that we get to experience as we reinvent how we show up for ourselves and in the world. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know no, I need you to know that you can trust yourself. Because when you know that you can trust in yourself, then you can move in the spirit of allow. And when you do that, you start to change the temperature in your own life. But I need to say this too before I go. Now, this energy of allow, it sounds great, right? It sounds like, oh, Mo, girl, I'm just going to be floating through these things and I'm just gliding and all of that. And yes, that is wonderful. That is a piece of it. But another piece of it, another aspect of this energy of allow or having this lens through which you move through your life of giving space and giving room for things to happen as they will happen, it's not always going to be pleasant because isn't that what releasing the need for control is about? Isn't that what it's about, right? It's not about making sure that every experience we have is under our control. We have to be able to recognize that everything that comes won't always be the things that we want, but if we allow it to, it can be a thing that we need. And for me, also in these last few months, I have had some professional relationships end that I didn't want to end, but I can look back on those things, look back on those situations and realize that things needed to be released so I could discover myself as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO in a different way. And if I was in resistance, if I had tried to fight back, then I would have given fear room to show up, and I would probably still be wallowing in what used to be. I just off the top of my head right now, I think about a time, this could probably be a whole different podcast episode, y'all, but I had a boyfriend one time who tried to break up with me and I wouldn't let him. I know that sounds ridiculous, right? That sounds absolutely ridiculous. But he tried to break up with me. He came and he said, you know what? I don't think this is working out, blah, 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 blah. And I was so afraid of losing what I thought he was giving me that I wouldn't let him. Like, I was like, no, I was in my I'm not going space. Like, I was in that energy. Like, what? Girl, if that thing is trying to leave, let it go. I can say that now. I didn't know it back then. I'm grateful for growth. Okay. So here's the thing. My point is that when you're in this space of allow, everything that comes may not be what you expect or even what you want. All of that is okay because the release of those things will be necessary for you to become who you are becoming. I can sit here and have this conversation with you today because regardless of what happens, I can trust myself. And I'm bringing this conversation to you because I hope that you will know the same thing for you. I couldn't end this episode without throwing that piece out there so that you will know, regardless of the narrative, you can trust you too. Okay. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of this episode. I hope you are feeling inspired and ready to take the next step toward your masterpiece life. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you left a rating or review in your podcast player. It helps more women like you find the show. And if you're ready for deeper conversations and support, come join us in the Glow Circle membership community. Your first 7 days are free, and we would love to have you. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Until next time, keep glowing. Later.